Hi, and welcome to Carolina Women. We are here today at Custom Audio Video, and I am here with our new WHHI intern, Jake. I'm really excited for you to join us today. It's wonderful every now and then to have a guy come, and he's been amazing, and you've been a great sport. We've already done 2 shows together, right?
Yes, you have.
And we had upside down hammock, so we've really had a lot of fun. I'm curious about you. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I'm from Charleston, and I moved over to Bluffton back in 2018 to go to USCB.
Ooh, during COVID.
Yep, well, I actually went 2 years it was a year right before it hit. I got one normal good year in. It was my freshman year, so I could walk around on campus, go have more than 4 people in one dorm. You know, it was a little different. You know, we weren't walking around with masks. And but sophomore year, yeah, about April 2020, that's when we had to leave early. We were almost done with the year, but we ended up leaving, finishing our classes online, go back next semester, fall of 2020, and everything's, you know, half the classes are online. Everyone's got to wear a mask. It was hard, and you know, it definitely knocked me down for a second. It knocked a lot of people down. So a lot of students, you know, good students, you know, they struggled. So
Exactly, and I think part of what we talked about is the adaptability. How resilient are you? Can you manage different environments for learning? Did you find that you enjoyed the learning through Zoom and other things? Did you adapt to that?
I did adapt to it. I don't think it was the best way to learn.
Okay.
I think everyone could agree on that. Learning algebra at 9 o'clock on your laptop is probably not the best way to learn it. But you know, we learned how to, you know, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. So
True.
You know
what the hardest part for me was masking. I think it was so hard to not be able to communicate using your facial expression.
It is interesting, yeah. And you see someone, for me at least, you have this whole class and everyone's wearing a mask and you don't know what their face looks like until the end of the year. So,
exactly.
And then they take off your mask like, what? That's what you look like.
Exactly, oh my God.
Yeah.
So you're here at WHHI. It was really interesting. We were chatting before. You are majoring in creative writing and communication, correct?
Majoring in communications, minor in creative writing.
Okay, exactly. So what do you think you're going to do with it? What are some goals? What are you hoping after WHHI?
Well, you know, I think you should follow what you're passionate about. So I like film, I like creating stories, and hopefully I can incorporate those 2 things in the future, whether it be with WHHI or something.
Wherever geographically you want to be. When you say you create stories, Jake, do you like fictional things? Are you a guy who likes more documentary?
That's a good question. So I'm in the Society of Creative Writers at USCB. I joined last semester, and that's because it was the first time I took a creative writing class.
Okay.
Because originally my minor was English, I changed it last semester.
Okay.
So I took a creative writing class with Dr. Malthus, and she's a really good teacher. She's connected with like publishers and stuff.
Oh,
She's
see,
written
that's
before. And every semester they drop what's called the Pen, and it's a bunch of short stories written by students. And last semester I ended up publishing 4 short stories for it, so I
What
got in there.
kind? What genre?
One was poetry, and the other 3 were like hint fiction, so really short, like only a page long, descriptive, you know, fiction.
Is poetry hard to write? That's something I think I've always been intimidated by. Maybe because I have a preconceived notion of what it needs to be or how it needs to look.
Well, I think when it comes to art in general, if you like it, then it's good. And if you like what you created, then it's good. You can't have any opinion on it. And poetry, my teacher said there's no like guideline. It's whatever you know, you don't have to follow any sort of cadence.
Before we have to go, I want to hear real quickly, when you were writing a short story, do you start with a theme? Do you start with an ending? Do you start with a character?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. So one time she gave us the last sentence. So for example, that was the day the blue snow fell. That's how the story has to end.
Got it.
And then you create the whole story from to the end.
Oh, I think that sounds interesting.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, you got to come back on again. I'm curious to ask more. I think many of us are interested in how people actually write and the process of doing it. So it was great getting to talk to you. Stay with us. There's more to come here on Carolina Women.